Now, as we all know, one of the major ways in which information was shared back in ancient Africa was majorly orally, whereby the elders will sit the children down by the fireplace or under a tree and share vast generational knowledge and information, majorly through word of mouth. Now, does this mean that there are no other ways in which information was shared back in ancient Africa? Does this mean that there are no written publications or materials that people could read and share knowledge or information? Now we're going to answer this by briefly looking at some of the libraries that existed at the time, and my main focus today will be the Library of Alexandria, which was located in Alexandria, Egypt. Now we can all agree that writing was not very common in ancient Africa, but Egypt was home to one of the largest ancient libraries to have ever existed at the time. Now the Library of Alexandria held about 400,000 volume of books, and it had about 500,000 books that were available for people to read, for scholars to learn from. And this library also served as a university whereby people would come learn, be taught about different subjects such as astronomy, mathematics, medicine, chemistry. All of them, you can mention them. The library also had faculties, because it also operated as a university. It also had faculties that were dedicated to studying different things such as astronomy, mathematics, all those subjects that we think never existed at the time, they were actually studied. Now also this library, another fun fact about this library was that this library was also home to a variety of books. It was not only authors from Africa that had books in the library. The library had books from places such as within Africa, such as Ethiopia, but also had books from outside Africa, from others such as the Romans, the Babylonians. It had books from Greece, from Syria, and places like those. So there were a vast variety. There were a variety of books from different authors and in different. It was through this library that men got to understand the science of the world, and as a result, some of the brilliant minds to have ever existed at the time was because of the Library of Alexandria. Now one of the reasons as to why the Library of Alexandria, one of the reasons as to why the Library of Alexandria really prospered at the time was because during that time, the papyrus reels were majorly used for writing, and the city of Alexandria was one of the largest producers of papyrus. So by default, the University of Alexandria had a lot of writing materials at its disposal, and this made it easier for the university to prosper over time. In fact, the university lasted over 6 centuries, and it prospered and gained fame not only in Africa but even across other continents. However, the library was destroyed in 48 BC by the Romans during the leadership of the Roman ruler Julius Caesar. But another library, a similar library, was then constructed by Mark Antony during the reign of Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. But also that second library was later destroyed by Christian Sawyer. As a result, centuries of knowledge and information was just vanished like that. But the Library of Alexandria remains in record as one of the greatest ancient libraries to have ever existed in Africa. So yes, in as much as information was majorly transferred orally, Africans also had written information and had publications and had books, and was also a hub for learning at the time.